Hello everybody, welcome to another beautiful day. I just had to turn the camera on because the colors up in the mountains are so pretty. I was up here yesterday with husband and baby, and there were two cubs, bear cubs, in the tree, and they were just swinging around waiting for mama, eating acorns. I would like to shift the focus for a few weeks of my videos into the topic of free will, doership, action, and specifically related to the non-dual community. Let me tell you why I want to focus on this, because I have been in this topic for 10 years, thoroughly in this topic, and I spent probably about maybe 6 years going through the collapse of the personal identity. In some cases, with some awakenings, this is a one-stop shop, and all that collapses in one go. That wasn't the case for me. It was a very slow and arduous and gradual process. Very, very slow and very, very painful, very, very uncomfortable. And the discomfort at times truly was just unbearable. The impact it was having on my personal relationships, on my money, on my work, on my health, on my well-being. I mean, very challenging. When did things start shifting for me here? I want to say just waiting this out, but there were key moments, key markers during this waiting out phase that had I known, when I was going through these collapses and these deep debugging of the personal self, had I known what was next, I think it would have been a lot easier. Had I known how to show up, it would have been easier, because I resisted this entire awakening process. It was just awful for me. It was not peace, love, and light at all. It was almost like I had to go to the deepest depths of despair in order to touch the part of me that was transcendent of profound suffering, to touch the part of me that was willing to release the human condition. And once I did that, and I thought I was doing that 10 years ago, I was on my happy little merry spiritual path, doing yoga, very sincere in my search for truth. But about 7 years into the awakening, things got super real, and structures started collapsing so rapidly that the uncertainty, the anger at losing what I had, the anger at myself for not figuring it out sooner, the frustration I had with just triggers that weren't letting up, like deep triggers that there was no clarity, no solution to. And I was like waking up every day into like Groundhog Day, into the same nightmare, the same problem over and over, the same dilemma over and over and over, and it wasn't budging. So the reason I'm pulling a little bit more of this message together through these last 3 videos is because the last message I did a few days ago on masculinity is a very, 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 very important message. And it's the pivotal kind of shift that completes this process of embodiment or in Jung's terminology, individuation. Now, Jung used, for the masculine energy in a woman, he used the term animus. And for the female energy in a male, he used the term anima. And he said that after shadow integration, after the process of unifying the unconscious programming, the unconscious conditioning with conscious awareness, allowing it to collapse, we are faced with the integration of the primal forces, anima, animus. Now we have both in us. We have the leader within us, and we also have the intuitive faculty within us. And the video that I made a few days ago is about unifying the two and completing your commitment to your path of awakening, to your process of knowing who you truly are. Because who you truly are is magic. It's light. It's pure light. It's pure joy. Now, did I know that? I knew it when I first had my awakening. That's what set me on this journey. But then I lost touch with that for 6 or 7 years while the deconstruction was taking place. I lost touch with that. And it was like the universe or the awakening. Let's call God the awakening, because that's really what's going on here. The universe is a little too subjective for me. But it was almost like the awakening needed a sense of desperation in me, needed a sense of pushing me to a ledge where the only possible reasonable action was to jump into the unknown and to give up everything that was still on land. And it was that jump that it required of me for all those years. Now, I don't know why some people are able to drop into this right away and certain awakenings just immediately collapse that structure. I don't know. There was a certain karma or a certain makeup of the system that required the specific path that I'm telling you about. So my channel, my videos, all of my energy has really gone to addressing that. So no, this channel's totally not for everybody. Thank God there's all kinds of different emanations of this message so people can find the one that works for them. But going back to this pivotal understanding of leadership, for me, that meant jumping, letting go, in other words. And that could only happen through a deep and profound self-compassion and forgiveness. I've talked a little bit about that. And a return to the physical makeup, to the physical body. What did my body need? What does good soil need in order to allow plants and new growth to flourish in it? It needs nutrients. It needs nutrition. It needs micro elements. It needs cohesion. It needs synergy. It needs fertility. It needs fertile soil. And for me, that meant there had to be a lot of love. Okay, and that was the video. I mean, watch my last 3 videos, because these really do link up and they can help you tremendously if you're in that phase of being stuck and not knowing what to do and feeling completely just a prisoner of your awakening. That's what I felt like for years. I was like, when is this thing going to be over? Like, please, God, like, get me out of this. What did I do? So this leadership quality emerges, and the difference between leadership now versus leadership back when, say, I was working at ad agencies or, greatly still confined within the conditioned state of what I was told I should be and what I was told I should do, and deeply entrenched in that. The difference now is leadership comes from a place of touching something that is fertile, something that has been deeply loved. Oh my gosh, this is totally the Velveteen Rabbit story. Have you guys heard of that story? The little rabbit stuffed animal that the kid has, and it gets just loved up so much that its eyes are falling off and its hands falling off, and that's love. Yeah, this is so true. That's the sleeping mountain. Yeah, love had to have its way with me, and I had to surrender to a certain point to earn this quality of knowing myself as a spark of light, as a creation principle. So where I want to end this message, and the whole point of this video, is about reminding you that after the collapse, you have an extraordinary amount of power. And it's very difficult to hold such profound energy, such profound wisdom, such deep, thorough love, and not do anything with it, because it will naturally just seep out of you. It'll naturally just want to tumble into your path and create and emerge as something very unique to you, very individual to you and your awakening process. Do I know what that is for me? No. No, this is a path of uncertainty. We know nothing here. We just know the surface to the moment as it is. We just know the urges and the desires, the templates of our creation. And then we incubate these seeds in this fertile soil of love. And we surrender them to the world, to the universe, to service of one life. So, for men, it's very, very important that you honor your intuitive faculties. And for women, it's very, very important that you honor your leadership. Your ability to lead. So yeah, I'm going to leave this message at that. I'm going to continue on my walk here. Thank you for sharing it with me, and I hope you're having a beautiful weekend wherever you are. Take good care. Bye-bye.